Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I've got a Michael Jordan build for you. It's going to be a real two-way shot creating type of build at shooting guard. So make sure he's a shooting guard and we'll move on. So for the body settings, of course, I think most people know Michael was about 6'6", same height as Kobe. So make sure the build's 6'6". In terms of weight, I pushed it up to 210. I wanted the boost in perimeter defense and a bit of strength and other things. So make sure the weight is 210 pounds. In terms of the wingspan, we want to push that to 7'2". So just to get the steel up as high as we can. And also a bit of finishing as well, even though that's all capped out. Make sure the wingspan is 7'2". Body shape's up to you. I just like defined for guards. I feel like it actually lengthens your arms if you can sort of see between solid and defined. It's just something interesting I noticed, but we'll move on to the attributes. So for close shot, we want to put that to 59. So that just gets 2 badges off the bat and just helps get an extra badge once you go to 59 as well. In terms of driving layup, now this is really important. Now I know Michael Jordan's layup should probably be like 99, but I could only get it to 74. Now 74 is important because one, you get an extra badge at 73, but if you go any lower than 74, you don't get any slashing takeovers with the way the build's set out. So you do need it to be 74 driving layup. And in terms of driving dunk, of course, we want to get that all the contact dunks, so we want to put that to 92, and that will get a lot of great badges as well, like Hall of Fame limitless takeoff, slithery finisher, gold posterizer and things. So that's great. Now in terms of post control, particularly in his later years, he was really good in the post, and unstoppable in the post. That fadeaway, the footwork was amazing. So we want to get this really high. And I chose to put it one below the max, which is 85, to get the Hall of Fame back down punisher. Because you will be coming up against most guards that have 25 strength, and they won't have post lockdown or anything like that in their badge layout. So to have back down punisher, even silver, I'm sure you'll notice a difference in strength and you're able to back down little guards really easily. So 85 post control for the 22 finishing badges. Now on to shooting. We all know his mid-range was lethal, so we want to get this as high as we can. I'd love to have pushed it above 90, but just the way his body settings were set out, the way I wanted him to get all the defense and finishing and things, I could only get mid-range to 86, but that's still great because at 86 it gets us whole gold green machine, and we've got Hall of Fame sniper and lucky 7, Hall of Fame clutch shooters there, gold hot zone hunter. He's still got a great array of badges. And for 3-point shot, we want to max that out, and that way we get a lot of decent badges silver. Circus 3s is silver if you like that, catch and shoot silver, dead eyes silver. So you should be able to make a really good badge layout with 27 shooting badges. And the 82 3-point shot, you shouldn't be missing too much from 3, particularly if you're open. Now for free throw, I managed to get that to 80. I think Michael might have been like an 84% free throw shooter, so I had the stats to get it pretty close. I got it to 80, which I think's good enough. If you can time your free throws well, you shouldn't really be missing that often. In terms of playmaking, now I think he actually ranks 6th amongst shooting guards all time for assists, average assists per game at 5.4. So it's interesting to see that, knowing that that's the thing they hold against him, that he wasn't much of a playmaker. He's actually 6th all time for his position. So we want to get pass accuracy reasonably high. I couldn't get it any higher than 70, but 70 is okay because we do get silver bullet passer at a minimum. So getting it silver is pretty handy. I've got some builds that have silver bullet passer, and as long as you don't make silly passes, you should be fine. You shouldn't get stolen in the passing lanes. This build's not really built for playmaking. It's more built for just for scoring and playing a bit off ball. Shooting guard, small forward. But yeah, 70 passing should be good enough. In terms of ball handle, we just want to put that one below the max. You do lose gold hyperdrive, but I'm not sure how many people are putting that gold. So I didn't think it was that much of a big deal. If you go any lower, you do lose a badge point. So I found that 83 was the sweet spot for the build. And at 83, at 80 ball handle, you get a lot of the animations. So you get all the animations you can get at 6.6. So I think 83 ball handle's good enough. In terms of speed with ball, we want to max that out to 80. That's important because we get gold for quick first step at 80 and also an extra badge. And that's really important to the build because Michael Jordan was really good in the triple threat. We get quick first step gold and triple threat Duke gold. So they're really important badges to the build. Now that's playmaking. Onto defense. He was a clamp god. He was a 9-time all-defensive team. He was a defensive player of the year, multiple time steals champ. So we want to get perimeter defense and steal as high as we can. I dropped it to 94. I would have loved to have got it 95 to get Menace Hall of Fame. I do think that's a good badge if you can get it. But I don't know how many people are putting it Hall of Fame, particularly over Clamps Hall of Fame. So I just dropped it to 94, which is still great. And Steal, we want to get that to 96 to get Hall of Fame Pickpocket and Hall of Fame Interceptor at 90. He averages over like 2 steals a game for his career, so we definitely want this as high as we can, and you'll be an absolute pest in the passing lanes and guarding on ball, particularly with a 7'2" wingspan and a 6'6" body frame. You should be making life absolute hell for the opponent. Now for block, he does average over a block a game, I'm pretty sure. He's a bit like Dwayne Wade. For those that know Dwayne Wade a lot and loved watching him play, they're really good at getting blocks at a guard sort of size. So we want to get block to 70. That just unlocks Silver Intimidator and Silver Chase Down Artist. You do get Silver Pogo Stick, which is cool. And also Bronze Rim Protector is pretty cool as well if you ever find yourself protecting the rim on help defense. But that will be defending. Now onto physicals. This is where the build will you have to sacrifice a bit for the build, particularly for the weight and the height. So I've put speed to 82 and also acceleration to 82. You're not terribly slow. I'd say you would make up for everything with perimeter defense. That's your lateral quickness. 80 speed with ball is okay. You're probably not going to be the primary ball handler with this build. So 80 speed with ball is okay. It's just really on fast breaks that this might come into play. If you leak out early enough, they shouldn't be able to catch you anyway. So I think 82 speed and acceleration is pretty good, especially at 6'6". Now for vertical, we want to get that to 80 to make sure that we get the elite contact dunks. So make sure vert's 80 and then just put the rest on stamina for 88 stamina. So that's the build. So in total we have 22 finishing, 27 shooting, 23 playmaking and 20 defensive badges for a total of 92 badges for this Michael Jordan build. That's an absolute lockdown god. Has all the contact dunks, can shoot from the perimeter, can post up, can play make, it can do pretty much everything, this build. All just for a bit of speed. You can have a build that does everything really well. So I think it's a great balanced build. We'll move on to the takeovers. So I've just chosen finishing moves. Obviously that's Michael Jordan. That's what his primary scoring was when he came into the league. He's just able to just absorb contract and just finish over centers, weave his way through. So that was his primary takeover. I thought that made sense. And also pull-up precision. As he got older, his mid-range game became absolutely unstoppable. So I chose pull-up precision. I could have put, extreme clamps, something in defense. I could have put negative impact as well. Or a post move, advanced post moves, power back downs, post shot daggers. There's so much stuff that Michael was good at, but these would be the two I would go with. And as you can see, you've made a two-way slashing shot creator, shades of Devin Booker, Paul George and Desmond Bain. So I think, you got Devin Booker's offense and Paul George's defense. with a bit of Desmond Bain shooting as well. I think it's a really just all-round, just unstoppable offensive build with absolutely insane defense. So we'll take a look at the badges. So for finishing, we definitely want things like gold limitless takeoff, and gold posterizer, you know, slithery finisher as well. They're your finishing badges that you want. And then for the post moves, you definitely want to look at back down punisher, drop stepper. You know, when you're coming up against little guards, drop stepper is going to be amazing. And then for the rest, you know, you got 5 points left. You could upgrade drop stepper to gold. That's only 1 point. Get maybe fearless finisher just to help with a bit of contact. You know, fast twitch, lob city. And then unstrippable, make sure you never lose the ball. That's really frustrating when a player can get a lucky strip. But that might be allowed, I will go with. You know, I think it's really balanced. You can score from pretty much anywhere near the rim. Now for shooting, we definitely want the core badges. You know, Deadeye, Green Machine, Hot Zone Hunter, Catch and Shoot, Sniper, Limitless Spot Up. And then for Michael, you probably want to get something like Fade Ace. And then of course, you know, Clutch Shooter Gold. It probably should be Hall of Fame, but I don't have the points to get a Hall of Fame. You could always drop Fade Ace down to bronze or something. But that would be a really solid layout I think I would go with. Now for playmaking, this may be, if you do make the build, this might be where you want to put some points into just to make it a bit more balanced. But you definitely want to be looking at things like Bullet Passer, Hyperdrive, still handy on fast breaks, you know, Quick Chain's great. Triple Threat Duke, you know, get Unpluckable on there, get gold, quick first step. You know, Needle Threader, Glue Hands, Dimer, Downhill, Handles for Days. Post Playmaker, because you will be posting up, that might be a really handy badge to have. You know, Tight Handles. Stop and Go, I do like Stop and Go, but they would be the sort of badges I would look at. You might need to sacrifice some things, like if you don't really notice Stop and Go much, you may want to take that off and put it on something else. You know, you might want to put some points in to get Heralds for Days, silver or gold, or maybe Downhill, silver, just to help on fast breaks. But you may need to put some points. This is probably the only part of the build that's lacking a bit in badges. But I still think you can get away with it because you're not going to be playing point guard. You're probably more of an off-ball shooting or small forward type. But those would be the badges I would look at. In terms of defense, we definitely want Clamps at least gold, Interceptor at least gold, Intimidator, Pick Dodger at least gold for Michael, Pickpocket at least gold, and then for the last three, you know, Tallest Defender. He's just a menace out there. He played, you know, 80 minutes, you know, 48 minutes, I mean, not 80, 48 minutes, just all out defense all the time. So definitely want Tallest Defender. Menace is still great. And then for the others, you know, you might want Chase Down Artists just to get the animations, but that would be a really great defensive layout. All in all, that's the build. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a really great day.